Thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of this very special conversation that matters, together with Billy and Sai from This Life. And this organization has just a very interesting name. And you might be curious why it's called This Life. And I would love Billy to open up this special session with the origin story of This Life.
Thanks, Masami. It's a pleasure to see you again today. I feel like we're very old friends, known you for a very long time now. So a little bit about This Life and how we became This Life. So a long time ago, 2007, almost 20 years ago, I was working in Cambodia and really just learning about responses to issues that communities were facing. And I was asking lots of questions, and one of the main questions I was asking is around, okay, a very traditional Western question. In 5 years' time, where do you see yourself? What do you hope to be? Expecting people to say, I want to be a lawyer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a nurse or so forth, or an engineer, whatever. But a lot of the children that I was speaking to were saying that next life, I want to be a lawyer, or next life, I want to be a policeman, next life, I want to be a doctor. A lot of kids felt that they didn't have any opportunities in this life, and they were just thinking about their next life. But it kind of prompted me to listen to and engage with communities and really see what the problems, the root cause, possible solutions are, and prioritize actions to take in this life.
And since then, you have made so many life-changing impacts over the years. But I think what makes your organization very, very special is the approach. What is really the key to the work of This Life?
So we really set out by listening to communities. We've never started a program that hasn't come from communities identifying the problem, the root cause, and the possible solution. So a lot of the programs that we started like very early in our evolution was around juvenile justice and justice reform in Cambodia. And what we were hearing from communities was children weren't returning home after serving a custodial sentence, and children were ending up in prison for really small crimes. And I kid you not, children were in 2007 up until 2015 ending up in prison for crimes such as stealing an egg. So when we were listening to communities and they were saying that their kids weren't coming back and they wanted to work out why, we then started to do research. And research is like I guess, the crux of the organization. Well, look, we went to the prison, we mapped out where all prisoners came from, and we put literally a pin in a map to identify absolutely everyone that was within Siem Reap prison. So we're talking about thousands of people here. And the community who raised it as their priority to address had the highest number of people incarcerated in Siem Reap prison, and that was why that they had it as their priority. If you fast forward to 2025, This Life has reduced recidivism rates, so the reoffending rates, from 60% within 6 months. So that means out of every 10 children, six would end up back in prison within 6 months. We've reduced that, and we've kept that recidivism rate to below 2%. And it's been 0% for the last few years as well. But on top of that, we've been working alongside governments, and we've been working on the juvenile justice laws, the drafting of those justice laws. They were implemented in 2016. In 2020, no child had gone through the juvenile justice law through the diversion opportunity that the law created. So that steers children away from serving a custodial sentence for a very small crime, a misdemeanor crime, a non-violent crime such as stealing an egg. So we ran some research to understand what was the issues around police, judges, prosecutors implementing the juvenile justice laws. And we interviewed families, we interviewed children, we interviewed all stakeholders across the board to work out, okay, it's 4 years of the justice laws being in place, 0 children have had an opportunity to go through a diversion order. Why? And we published a very critical piece of a puzzle, which was No Place for a Child, Alternatives to Imprisoning Children in Cambodia. So when we presented that, there was an overwhelming support for the juvenile justice laws. And then in 2021, we had like a critical breakthrough where we were able to support the very first diversion case in Cambodia for a child who went through that process, who went before a judge and was given an opportunity to serve a community sentence rather than a custodial sentence for a small crime. From that, we've developed standard operating procedures in Cambodia, and we're the first and only organization who has a pathway set for children to not go into prison and to go through a diversion program when it's appropriate.
Amazing. And Sai, I remember meeting you for the first time. What you have achieved is, really, really astonishing. So I would love you to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Masami. I think this conversation just trigger a lot of histories of myself, and going through war, growing up in a poor family, strive for education through parent support, and be able to now provide the impact to the community, and really passionate about the work we do. To me, being a first staff employed at this life and gone through this journey with Billy and the team, and we're so lucky to have a great team with us, and a lot of us stay with the organization over 10 years, and we very proud of them. I would just want to say that is the work that we've been doing in Cambodia is really tough, and that's why we do it. We're not choosing the easy work to really solve the issue, and it just proves that when you listen to community, you listen to children, mother, the solution is there.
And when you look at the project that we are listing in B1G1, you do things like domestic violence prevention campaigns, or building schools through, by B1G1 members supporting to give bricks or education materials. So it seems like you have a wide spectrum of programs together with B1G1, but I'm just curious about how you choose what you do.
Really, again, come back to our mission, listen to, engage with, and advocate side by side children, women, family, community as they define their own complex to the solutions. So from there, I think the work we do is evolve, and simply because we design the work is to really respond to what they need and what they want, rather than coming up and stick with our own plan. And you can see the real impact. And they buy in, local authority buy in, the government is buy in. It's so aligned very well with the national policies and framework. And we're not only creating the real impact at the grassroots levels to the family, to the children.
And there's a question from the audience. He's asking what you are most proud of.
The ability to play a part for change of the life of the children in conflict with the law. I mean, look, for me, I just constantly remind myself that I'm so lucky to be born where I born, to be grown and educated where I was in this country. But for example, if I were to happen to be born, which I cannot choose, in the family that is a father alcoholic and the mother also alcoholics, then I think my life would be different. There's a lot of root cause around this is not that seeing that they commit a crime as small as just to feed their stomachs and we punish them. I think we just happen to be, to be born in probably the right place, I would say, and no one better than other, but it's the location and the time would change everything in your life.
That's so powerful, right? Like, because I think every one of us who is here on this conversation today, or those who are watching, are perhaps some of the luckiest among the luckiest people in the world. But that was just a luck, right? So what do we do with that is enormous, because if we could all uplift just one life, what can we do?
Yeah.
And so, Billy, what about you? How do you respond to that question?
I'm proud of my team. Like the team that we have at This Life is absolutely incredible. And Sai is way too humble to speak about himself, so I'll speak on his behalf. When Sai applied for the role at This Life, 300 people applied, and he was the first staff member employed by This Life. And to see the growth that Sai has gone through, to walk in or burst into his room probably one day and to look over his shoulder and to see that he's doing an interview, a one-on-one interview with President Obama himself, Sai in our office and Obama in his home, just kind of demonstrates the sincere impact not only the organization has, but individually we have in this world as well.
And
For sure.
amazing how quickly time passed. So I'd love you to just talk about what's happening in Cambodia and what you are seeing and how you are responding to that issue right now.
Yeah, so I think to say a snapshot of the issue around displacement of this Thai and Cambodia border conflicts is happening really strongly within 5 days in July, impacting 172,000 peoples have been displaced by these conflicts. Our children separated from their family, young people traumatized by these conflicts, and mothers without safety. The entire communities disrupted, and education has stopped. Basic needs are uncertain. So how we respond to it at This Life, we conduct a rapid in-house assessment of the conflict's impact. So what we did immediately is to provide direct support to those families through cash transfer and emergency support, including food, supplied hygiene and first aid kits to Siem Reap prisons, and other emergency packages in the prisons as well. So there's a lot of work that we've been doing, including sending our vocational training students out to the safe shelter to do the haircut of the children. We support them, and then also with hygiene as well. Over 1,000 children and adults as well. So what we are doing now. So we monitor the situation closely. We continue to support our program participants to meet their need.
Thank you, Sai. I hope we had another 1 hour to talk about so much more. But today, I hope this conversation gave every one of us deeper understanding of the work that you do, and also combination of long-term work and short-term reaction and the support, right? Because both are actually needed. So in B101 space, so far, with the long-term approach of making the micro contributions matter more, together with you, we have created these impacts. So I just want to thank everybody who took part in making these impacts. But behind these, bigger numbers are the little action, little contribution. And sometimes we feel that those small things wouldn't matter so much. But when we do it long term together, then it makes a significant difference. To then celebrate and thank everybody for coming live, I just selected a few of the projects from This Life over here and created a QR code. So if anyone on this call has a phone, then you can scan this QR code and go to this link, and then let us know which impact you want us or me to create, because we will fund this impact today. So thank you so much, everybody, for taking part of this important conversation. And thank you so much, Sai and Billy, for making your time contribution to share your story and the impact with us.